Pick your head up, you ain't gon' believe this. It's your boy Squint talking that shit. Go and tell him what it is. Just a man and his podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. One by one, it's a tag match. Either way for me, cause I'ma make the bloodbath. TST, make you see stars when I throw hands. Keep on spitting bars after bars, like the cage, man. I'ma get the Hardy Boys off the ropes, make it rain, man. You ain't seen a goddamn thing. You get it? You keep on talking shit and the referee count your digits. That's that 1, 2, 3. When he finally get up, he can't say his fucking ABCs. Look, pick your head up, you ain't gon' believe this. It's your boy Squint talking that shit. Go and tell him what it is. Just a man and his podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. One by one, it's a tag match. Either way for me, cause I'ma make a bloodbath. TST, make you see stars when I throw hands. Keep on spitting bars after bars, like the cage, man.
Hello.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Squint's favorite episode of A Man and His Podcast. Today I have two very special guests that I've been trying to get on for a while. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All you, Bishop. You go first.
I am SK Bishop. I am one half of the Saviors of Tag Team Wrestling, the Premier.
And I am Campbell Myers, the other half of the Saviors of Tag Team Wrestling, the Premier, a.k.a. Young Twitter God, Young, a.k.a. No, I'm just playing. That's all I got.
A.k.a. Zero Ultra.
Dude, yeah. Actually, a.k.a. Zero Ultra, the way I'm a white monster in these streets right now.
I didn't even understand it at first. So you guys are saying one half. And as soon as I announced this,
Scott Stanley's in the chat talking shit right now.
Oh, no way.
That's
oh,
crazy,
Scotty. That's
Scott,
not nice,
DMs
Scott.
are open if you need more advice or if you want to send me a match to critique or anything along those lines.
You guys are saying one half. As soon as I announced this episode, I had somebody, they sent me a DM and they said, can you please ask them about my involvement in the premiere? And it was King Nate. So what is King Nate's involvement in the premiere? You guys are saying one half. It sounds zero. So there's no thirds.
King Nate just be saying shit on Twitter, bro. I just got to let him talk, man. You just got to let him do his thing. King Nate's a good brother. I love to see him. I love to take the patented King Nate selfie at the merch table.
Absolutely.
But he just be yapping, bro. You just got to let him do his thing.
Yeah.
I did see a picture of you guys all together, though, that made it seem like he was part of the premiere. It looked like you guys were all like on a ramp or a stage or something. Some were saying it was photoshopped. I don't think it was.
I mean, I can promise you I've never taken a picture with King Nate when he wasn't on the other side of our merch table. So if you saw a picture of us together on a ramp, certainly Photoshop.
Scott said I had push notifications on just to hate during this pod.
That checks
That's
out.
just rude.
That's
Probably
not why Scott's acting like he doesn't already have my tweet notifications on too, dude. He's a huge fan.
So we're just going to get right to it. Jason Klein asked me to name off names for you guys to bury. And
starting off hot.
Dude, we're picking a hand, dude.
Yeah. As Campbell said, we're playing pick a hand. I thought he was telling me to pick a hand, and I got scared. So I guess the first one we're going to have to do, even though Scott Stanley is a dear friend of mine, bury Scott Stanley on Jason Klein's request.
Bury Scott Stanley on Jason Klein's request.
Jason Klein didn't ask you to bury Scott Stanley. Let me get that clear. He just told me to list names to bury.
Oh.
I don't want Jason Klein saying, or people thinking Jason Klein said that. He just wanted me to have you guys bury people for 30 minutes.
I can absolutely do that. It is a fun game to play. Bishop, I'll let you go first if you'd like.
I honestly don't have anything negative to say about Scott Stanley. He's a good brother.
That makes one of us. Fuck Scott Stanley, dude. Motherfucker thinks because he's got a mustache that he's tough now. Nah, that's me. First of all.
Oh, mustache guys. I
First
forgot.
of all, that's me. Now and then also, he thinks that like him just not having a personality is a personality trait. I don't fuck with that. That sucks. Brother wants to rip off a I think you should leave sketch like we haven't been putting in work doing that in the trenches for years now.
It's free game, but okay.
I actually can't think of anything else. I want to hate the new guys a lot more than I'm able to. They are kind of killing shit right now, so it's hard to hate. But also, fuck the new guys forever in the same. So that's
one of our
right now.
But yeah, good brothers overall.
So Jake Bosch, do you have any harsh opinions on Jake Bosch?
Jake Bosch is almost too young and stupid to be like to hate on. Like it's probably illegal. He probably isn't able to be hated on for at least another couple of years until his like frontal lobe develops. But until then, like I don't know if it's like really legal for us to even hate on him because I mean, he's like 16 years old and I was a fucking moron when I was 16 years old too. So.
They're both very young. But yeah, I mean, give them a couple more years and maybe there'll be something to hate on. I don't know, but I like the new guys.
He said, "Stop being nice. I hate you and thank you." I guess.
Suck my dick, Scott.
Oh man.
Next person, I'm going to ask you guys. I'm not going to say bury. I don't want to request you guys to bury people. I'm just going to ask for your opinions, which I feel like it's going to turn into burying. But Fountain City Pro Management. What is your opinion?
Fountain City Pro Management, dude. They wanted to run in our backyard 5 minutes from my house and then tweet shit and be like, "Oh well, we got one of the best tag team divisions in the Midwest," and not fucking book the premiere. Fuck out of here, dude.
They did right their wrongs and they did end up bringing us in, but yeah, fuck them for initially doing.
I mean, but we showed up on and we forced their hand. It wasn't like
I mean, yeah, but
they didn't really right any wrongs. We just forced their hand for the betterment of the sport in our city.
It was in their best interest to use us, so yeah.
Well, certainly. And then also on top of that, fuck Fountain City because they booked us against Only Friends at the last show, and I hate those rat bastards too, especially Logan Knight. I fucking hate Logan Knight.
I too hate Logan Knight.
So yeah. I'm not going to try to defend Fountain City Pro, but what if they didn't reach out to you guys because they thought you guys were already booked? Because you guys are the premier, and maybe they just assumed that you guys already had a date. You already had a match scheduled that day.
Well, Squints, you know what they say about people that assume, right?
I forgot the saying. Go ahead.
They're fucking idiots. That's what they say about them. Guess what? It's pretty quick and easy to find out if the premiere is already booked. DM us, hey, are you available this date? 95% of the time we say, no, we're not available for that date because we're fucking superstars that are booked all the time, obviously. But it wouldn't hurt to ask, especially if you're going to claim that you have one of the best tag team divisions in the Midwest and you want to run in our city. The very bottom of the bottle least you could do is ask the premier. And they didn't. So we had to take matters into our own hands.
And then the next person I'm going to ask for your opinion on. The last time I seen you guys with them, it didn't end so good. He goes by the name.
Hang on. Scott, what are you fucking talking about? Ooh, the invasion angle was good. Yeah, dude, you probably call WWE the Fed and live in your mom's basement. Talking about an angle. We showed up to a place that was 5 minutes in my backyard, dude. First of all. Second of all, it's gone nowhere and you've won nothing. We're undefeated. What?
Yeah, they locked their doors. No.
How are you gonna tell an undefeated tag team that they haven't won anything? Fuck out of here. Sorry. Go ahead, Squints. Your best friend interrupted you like a total jackass.
He didn't interrupt me. I think you interrupted me. But I'm gonna revert real quick. You said they locked the doors now. Was it that easy for you guys to just, I'm not going to say break in, but was it that easy for you guys to just come in uninvitedly when you guys did the invasion angle, as Scott Stanley is calling it?
Yeah.
We walked right in the door.
Everything, so it was easy for us to come in. We knew where they were at.
We walked right in and walked right in. We waltzed our fine asses right into the ring and beat up people. It was like very easy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, Scott. He said he's not sorry to you though. I forgot what. The Kinway. What is your opinion on the Kinway? Last time I seen you three together was at WrestleMax, and it.
This is a complex answer in my head right now. There's a lot to unpack when it comes to Kinway's relationship with him.
Yeah.
Let me come back to that one.
Okay.
I was just going to say, he is the founder of the Premier. We have some history with him, but yeah, didn't really end it on the best terms at WrestleMax. Yeah. Anyway.
We'll come back.
All right. And then while we're on the topic of, the Kinway is still official. Two former members of the Premier, Thomas Shire and Camaro Jackson.
Love them. I love those boys to death. I'll ride off into war for those boys. Thomas Shire, the king of overseas graps right now. Him and Manders are killing it. So shout out my boy Tommy Shire, my boy Camaro, holding a ton of titles, all these different fucking promotions. So shout out to him. Those boys are killing it. I'll die for those boys. I love them forever.
100%. Those are two of the best doing it right now. And again, a lot of history with those guys. They're awesome.
So,
Atlanta.
Are they?
Oh God, that's insane.
I swear I'm not popping for anything Scott Stanley's ever said in his life. I just saw something else probably. I'm not popping for Scott Stanley.
You were popping for the podcast logo is dope AF. Is it the comment you were
that's what
popping
it
for?
was, bro. It certainly wasn't. Yeah. It certainly wasn't Scott Stanley talking about the Kinway in the chat right now.
So.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to say the name and then them not want me to say the name. But
we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
But the next one is, and the last one, because I feel like if we start naming off names, it's going to end bad for me, not you two. You guys can back it up. I can't. Papa Kinway. You can't say anything bad about Papa Kinway, can you?
Oh, PK fucking rules, dude. He just makes.
I like PK more than I like house. Straight up, keep the boys.
Dude, PK for the boys. All he does is fucking make funny jokes, cook good wings, and let the boys sleep in his basement. So,
hey,
what are we gonna say?
Like casseroles and shit too. PK rules.
Yep. Shout out my boy Papa Kinway.
Yep.
Okay. And then, so do you guys still consider Thomas Shire and Camaro Jackson part of the Premier, or do you consider them like Premier alumni?
I don't even know if alumni would be the right word. And if you feel differently, Bishop, you can say whatever. But I just look at the Premier as a faction, as something that like came and kind of went, not in a bad way. There was never really a big breakup or a split off or anything like that. They just, dude, like we found our niche as tag guys early on. Camaro found his kind of flow doing his shit, and then so did Shire. And so it was more so kind of a foundational way to bring us all together, kind of have strength in numbers, especially during COVID, and do some fun like 6-man tag stuff, some fun faction stuff there. And then once all of us kind of found our footing and figured out what direction we wanted to go, we were able to kind of pivot and go that way. It just so happened that it was just coincidental that we kept the name, just because we had kind of made more progress in the niche of tag wrestling with that. But at this point, the Premier is a tag team. It's 2 people. It's me and Bishop. And there are former affiliates for sure. I went to a college out here in Kansas my freshman year where their motto was once a gorilla, always a gorilla. It was Pitt State. I feel that way about the Premier. You know, if we ever needed to, call somebody up, if they said, hey, we need you for a 6-man, we could call Shire. We could call Camaro Jackson. So it's not like it ever died and went away or there was some nasty split off. It was just more of a different directional pivot for each of us, if that makes sense.
All right. CR Media says, ask Campbell when he grads from the police academy.
Who asked that?
CR Media.
Oh, yeah, those jerk offs from Town City Pro. No pop. Sorry.
Are you not in the police academy? Is he making fun of your...
Yeah. Clearly it's a joke about the mustache that he can't grow. I don't know why he keeps taking pot shots from his fucking laptop. And it's like, dude, I told him at the last show, you put the premiere on your poster and you sold the most tickets you've ever sold in your whole fucking life. So I just don't understand how you don't see that correlation and then maybe like shut the fuck up about the premiere. I don't know.
So while we're talking about him, let's say he DMs you guys and he's like, hey, are you guys available this day? You say, yes, we are, blah, blah, blah. And they say, okay, I'm letting you choose your 2 opponents. Who is it? But the catch is they have to be 2 Disney Channel original actors. So they have to be 2 characters from a Disney Channel original movie.
You did get a pop. You go first, Campbell. I want to know who you would choose. Wait, you said Disney Channel original show or movie?
Show or movie. They just have to be a Disney Channel television character.
Let me tell you one off a rip right now. Fucking Rocket Man from High School Musical 3, who subs in and fucking makes like the game sealing play for the Wildcats at state. Fuck him. Rocket Man is definitely one of them. Trying to think of more of my Disney Channel ops right now off the top of my head. Oh, you want actually? Here we go. Same realm, same world. So we got Rocket Man. Oh, actually, fuck that. Rocket Man and Calabar from Halloween Town and Halloween Town 2. Calabar's Revenge. Calabar can get this fucking work, dude. Sad Lad special 8 times over. I'll pin him for a 5 count, dude. I'm jobbing his ass out.
You're a 5 count. Real quick, before you answer, there is a fan in the chat that is saying hi to you, Bishop. Solomon Tupu. He says, hi, Bishop. Bishop, hi, bro. I love you. And I think he's waiting for you to acknowledge that.
What it do, Uncle T? Big
Shout
homie.
out Uncle T.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, real quick, this is for my boy Uncle T. All right.
CR Media. Okay, I was thinking about that. The Zach and Cody. Those 2. Outside of that though, man, he said Calabar from Halloween. So I feel like I have to step it up some. I don't know, man. Probably I never liked the brother in Hannah Montana, so probably him. I forget what his name is.
Jackson Rod Stewart.
Yeah,
you could give him the work.
Yeah, dude, him. Probably him and Calabar. Yeah, dude. Him and Calabar.
Either Calabar or those 2 punks from Hocus Pocus too. The 2 thugs from Hocus Pocus.
But yeah, maybe them too. No, I really don't like Hannah Montana's brother. So yeah, dude. Yeah.
Tupu, I'm getting on Fortnite tonight. Don't worry.
Oh.
So I'm going to go back up to a question that Scott Stanley asked real quick. He says, ask about besties in the world versus the premiere for the 0-1 titles in the Dynamo Gym during COVID. Great match.
Shit. Go ahead, dude.
Scott hadn't even taken a bump at that point. I'm not even sure Scott had started watching wrestling at that point, so he needs to respect his vets.
Dude.
Well, he did say it was a great match.
It was a match that had to happen for business reasons in the wrestling world, which again, I wouldn't expect Scott to understand anything related to business, especially in the wrestling world. And yeah, we did a few of those dojo tapings. There's some gyms in there. If you go back and look, I don't even know if they're still up. They might be. I just remember it being hot as shit that day. All right. You know what? I'll break the wall down here a little bit. We had to have this match with besties because certain shit had to happen for certain other companies across the Midwest that just involved the outcome of this match. And there was no shows for either of these companies that were really running at the time. And so we just had to find a way to make it happen. Luckily, the person who was doing these dojo tapings was doing them at this time. So it was kind of like almost like a get out of jail free card. We're like, oh, we can just do it here, film it, throw it on YouTube. It exists. Now there's like some type of continuum here. And it was, I want to say we had already wrestled in St. Louis like the Friday night before, maybe.
Probably.
And yeah, I think we had wrestled in St. Louis the night before. stayed the night there, and then did these dojo tapings on like a Saturday, but it was like the middle of August, and it was hot as shit in there. There's like obviously like no AC or whatever, and there's like you can see certain spots. I think I curb stomped Fitchett at one point, and we both just like my foot just slid down the back of his head like a slide, just because all of us were just drenched and covered in sweat. But I will say that was a match before the premiere. Learned a lot of tricks of the trade. It's certainly a match that I have at the top of my list of like ones I would love to run back if the besties ever decide to reunite, I guess. I would love to run that back as the wrestlers we are now. I found the first match we ever had against the besties, and it sucked. It was the shit, the drizzles, as they say. And I couldn't help but cringe the entire time I watched it. And I had to swallow my pride. This was probably a month or two ago. And I even texted my arch nemesis, Matthias Fitchett, and I said, thank you guys for being such pros because we sucked in this match. That is a Squints podcast exclusive. You won't catch me talking that way publicly probably ever again. But I did have to send that text to him. And I think we maybe wrestled them a total of like 3 or 4 times, but none of which were like when we really had it figured the fuck out. Not that, I mean, you're never done learning, but I feel like the wrestlers we are now would have a far better match with the best season wrestlers from 3-4 years ago.
No,
And then, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just to piggyback off of him, like early on, when we first started tagging, that's whenever we crossed paths with the besties a lot. Did seminars with them. Those guys fucking rule. And yeah, those early matches were very rough. You're still pretty green, but yeah, we learned a lot from them. And like you said, I would love to run it back as the wrestlers we are today. You know, if we could, but you know, wishful thinking.
King Nate does say, hey, Squints, ask my question while I'm in here. In here, King, thank you. You know the one, or you should. Nate, I did ask it at the beginning. I don't know if Campbell wants to say it again, but what is King Nate's involvement in the premiere?
He's a gigantic fan of the premiere, and he likes to announce on Twitter that he is a third member potentially of the premiere, and I would have to say that I disagree with that, but he is an A1 supporter, a great fan, especially on Twitter when it comes to fighting for the premiere. But I've seen him cheer for the new guys a time or two, and I kind of have a very DTA approach to pro wrestling, where I really only trust people like Bishop, and that's it. So as great as King Nate is to us publicly on Twitter, just the fact that in the past I have seen him root for the new guys is a little off-putting, to where we have to say that right now his status would probably be that of just a good fan and supporter.
Okay, that was very, very respectful. So you said you're going to play Fortnite later tonight with Solomon. What is your main drop on OG Fortnite? The OG map.
Yo. Let me take over real quick. Shout out my boy Hayden Backlund. Shout out my boy Trip Jordy. And shout out the Don Solomon Tupu. You know the boys are dropping at Greasy because we're the Greasy Gooners. We're going for 8 straight. We just topped off at 7 straight last month. So you know we're going for 8 tonight. So shout out the Greasy Gooners. Tupu, if you're still in here, you know what's up. But that's where we're dropping every time.
All right. That's a very valid choice.
Oh, dude, when we drop Grease, we fucking win. It's a dub every time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not a stud at Fortnite by any stretch of the imagination. I do get laid, so it's kind of hard to be doing that and be good at Fortnite. Usually they're mutually exclusive. But guys like Tupu, guys like Hayden Backlund, whoo, sweats. So, you know, they can carry me to the promised land all they want. I'm here for it.
Bishop?
I don't know any of this fucking terminology. I don't play Fortnite. I don't really play video games. So yeah, cool, good for them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, right on.
Yeah, man.
The chat is blowing up right now. I think there's a bit of an argument going on in there with Nate and Scott. I'll let them.
Yeah, you gotta let those pre-show talents fucking sort it out for themselves, man. We're talking main event shit up here.
And then, and then I mentioned that I wanted to talk about gym etiquette because I've recently got back in the gym, and there is some stuff that I noticed that annoys me at the gym, and I want to know if they annoy you as well. So, first one being not re-racking the weights. Somebody's on the squat rack and they have like 315 loaded up on it. They finish their set or finish their third set, wipe it off, and they just walk away and leave the weights on. What's your opinion on that?
Bishop, you can go first.
I mean, that's insane. I feel like re-racking your weights is like fine, that and wiping off benches and everything, but I haven't seen that in a long time. I actually work out at home primarily, but when I do go to a gym, yeah, that does irritate me if people just leave dumbbells out and all that. So no, that makes perfect sense. They should put their shit away, you know.
Yeah, that shit is mad frustrating. I almost have like the inverse that I'm guilty of though. So like I go work out with a noon like CrossFit class every day, and I'm notoriously late. If you know, you know. The Bishop and I operate on Premier Time, which is not always super prompt, and that carries over into my real world life too. And I'm like notoriously late to my noon CrossFit class, and I feel like an asshole every time. But like most of our days, we'll start with like a strength portion before we get to like the CrossFit workout of it all. And dude, I'm notorious for just walking in and just like I'll sit in the corner and like scout out who's gonna lift similar weight to me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, bro, I'll just work in with you. And I never get out my own barbell. I never get out my own weights. I just fucking fill in and take over someone else's shit with them. But I mean, so that's why I say that's kind of like the inverse. I always help them clean it up and re-rack those weights. So if you don't rack your weights, you're a pussy. Heard it here first.
As long as it gets put away.
Yeah, dude. Come on. What are you, fucking pussy?
What is the appropriate time to sit on a machine in between sets while playing on your phone? So, like, you finish a set on leg extensions, you play on your phone. How long until you start getting annoyed, like, come on, let's hurry this up. I want to use that machine.
I'd say, I mean, it depending on how full the gym is, honestly, but I wouldn't be on my phone for more than like a minute and a half. For particular workouts should be shortened. So yeah, I just try to keep it moving. Yeah, about a minute and a half.
Yeah, I think most people too, like their programming, if you have programming from somebody, like it usually incorporates like telling you how long your rest should be. And at that point, you know, I feel like that's where it depends, because like your rests between your sets, if you're doing it like how you're supposed to, that's none of my business. If your programming says to rest, you know, 2 minutes between sets and you got to that machine, then that's my problem. That's not your problem. So, yeah, I think it depends, but they're obviously within reason. There is some egregious ones where it's like, okay, clearly the gym is packed. You're doing sets of 10 to 12. You don't need to be resting 5 minutes between every set. So yeah, I mean, if they start to impede on my gains, then we might have a problem, but yeah, within reason.
And then what is each of your guys' individual gym pet peeves? Like, is there anything that sticks out to you where it's like, it doesn't piss you off, but it annoys you, if that makes sense?
When people pass gas, like it's just sometimes, man, it is, you know, when it's bad, I'm not, you know, yeah, but especially at the gym when, you know, you're lifting and lowering and you know, you get all, yeah, it just makes it that much worse. So, yeah, I prefer people to take it to the restroom, but yeah, sometimes you just get crop dusted out on the floor. So, you know.
This shouldn't be a pet peeve, and I don't even think that it actually annoys me. But I think, like, you'll understand the point I'm making here. This shit is so frustrating to myself. Like, it's not anything anybody else does. But, like, say you're maxing out, like, a lift, right? You're going for, like, a 1-rep max deadlift. You're, like, working out with a group of people. And you pull it, right? And it, like, you get it, nice, clean rep, but it felt like if you added a fucking half a pound, you wouldn't be able to lift it. But it just moved smooth enough. And then, like, 3 or 4 other people that you're working out with, they're like, oh, bro, you got, like, 15, 20 more pounds in, bro. You can throw some weight on there, man. That looked too smooth. And it's like, dude, I promise if you felt what I just felt, you would not be saying this. I don't care how it looked. I'm telling you how it felt. You could add a quarter of a pound of this thing, and I'm not going to be able to pick it up off the floor. Okay, I promise you that. Again, not really a pet peeve. It's honestly, they're being nice. They're being like, dude, you move that rep so smoothly, you should be able to do more weight. But in my head, I go, you're not feeling what I'm feeling, so please leave me the fuck alone because that was heavy as shit, okay? That's mine.
And then I have a big question because I've been on the end of this offense before. You're going for a 1 rep bench PR and you're pushing. It seems like you're not going to get it, but you in your head you think you're going to get it and you know you're going to get it. The spotter touches the bar. Do you get pissed off?
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Don't touch the bar until it comes back down to my chest. That's like real life shit. I'm not even like trying to be funny. I was being a little over the top earlier. You like until I either say help or it comes like starts to come back down. I'm not like getting it. Then you can like help me back up. But dude, I've seen that shit so many times. Luckily, it's never happened to me. But like, dude, clearly somebody's doing like their last like struggle rep, and it's like it's going slow, but it's moving. And then I'm like, ooh, I would spaz if that happened to me, dude. I would spaz.
It's been a while since I've maxed, but yeah, I would be irritated if somebody touched it when I didn't need to. Yeah, I'll back off of what Soup said. Yeah, if you see me struggling with it and it goes back down, then intervene. But otherwise, let me try.
10 likes on my next tweet, and I'll release a video of Solomon Tupu doing the opposite to Jay Marston and not helping him get the bar off of his chest.
Oh no!
He said, "Come on, lift it. Come on." You got it.
You try hard.
There's a video of me going for a bench PR, and in the video, the spotter's like trying to grab the bar, and you just hear me yelling in this crowded commercial gym. I yell, "Don't fucking touch this!" And everyone just like turns their head and looks over at me, and I'm like, "I'm sorry. I don't think I overreacted, but I feel like."
Seems like an appropriate response to me.
Intensity, man. We like that.
King Nate has another question. He says, "Ask the boys what they listening to music wise these days. They should have good takes."
Go first, Campbell. Yeah.
All right. Well, King Nate's probably not expecting this, but I've been on a bit of a country kick the last few months. Country is the one genre, though, that I feel like I'm extremely picky in. So I listen to almost all types of rock. I listen to lots of different types like hip-hop, R&B. I do listen to what I would consider to be like a pretty good amount of country, but I'm very picky on like the stuff I do listen to. A lot of like modern radio stuff is not for me. I lean more towards like 90s country, and then like kind of like I don't even know the name for the subgenre, but I listen to like a lot of Zach Bryan, Turnpike Troubadours. I know Zach Bryan's on the radio, so that sounded like an oxymoron, but like Turnpike Troubadours, Tyler Childers. Just recently gotten into Charles Wesley Godwin a lot. On the flip side of that, though, we are actually going to see Movements and Citizen tomorrow, so that's like been heavy in rotation, kind of getting ready for that. So a ton of Citizen. I pretty much like have most of the Movement songs that I'm sure they'll play memorized because I've spammed them for the last like 3 years. But I've kind of been doing the same with Citizen the last like 2. So them together is going to be an insane show. And then I'm trying to think, there was a Tiger's Jaw is always in my rotation. So like outside of the country world, I've been listening to a lot of that, and LiAngelo Ball too, man. Shout out to LiAngelo Ball. He's been putting out some heaters. 2 for 2, about to go 3 for 3. So I was a little all over the place, but that's what I've been on.
Yeah. A lot of the same kind of alternative bands that Campbell mentioned, Citizen, Movements are 2 favorites. Outside of that, also big Tiger's Jaw. Pop Mulligan's a favorite of mine. I kind of took them out of rotation for a bit, but they snuck back in, so a lot of them lately. And then, funny enough, so when I was younger, I used to listen to like death metal, like pig squeal type stuff, straight away from it. But recently I started picking that back up again. So there's a band called Peeling Flesh that I've been listening to when I lift, and they fucking rule. So yeah, if you're into that kind of noise, it's really good stuff.
All right. I'm gonna put you guys on to a country artist. I don't know if you've heard of him yet. His name is Evan Honer, and by the names that you named off, Campbell, I think you might like him. So,
Duly noted. I'll check him out.
and then
I'm assuming he's probably on Spotify.
yeah, he's on Spotify. So
I'll give him a listen.
And then this next question, we're just going all over the place. Oh, actually, first, Scott wants to know, what are your guys' thoughts on Morgan Wallen?
He sucks. I don't like Morgan Wallen at all. That is like the epitome of the exact music I don't enjoy right now. Just like super popular, like radio country. And I hate to describe it as popular and then be like, yeah, that's like why. It's not why I dislike it. I just dislike it because all of it is like, doesn't really sound like country music to me. It just sounds more like pop music, which isn't necessarily my jam. Not a huge fan. But if you like shuffled my thousands of songs long enough, one might pop up in there. But I'm not a big Morgan Wallen fan.
I honestly don't listen to much country. I'm getting more exposure to it because I'm in the car with Soup. But outside of like Tim McGraw, dude, I don't really know much. I'll have to do some.
Yo, how do you know about Tim McGraw, though? Why don't you tell him how you know about Tim McGraw?
That was Campbell and Cody Lane. Chainsaw.
Put him on to Indian Outlaw, man.
That song actually rules. So yeah, that I do like that one, and I've heard some other free music whenever I'm in the car with Campbell. So it's starting to grow on me. I wasn't as tolerant of it when I was younger, but yeah, there's some good stuff. But yeah, Tim McGraw rules though. Yeah.
There's like a very specific like parallel where most country music is like road dog music too, especially like 90s. Like George Strait is always like all the songs are just about being in the rodeo, dude. It's just like, and then there's like a lot of songs now, like there's some from like Turnpike Troubadour, stuff like that, where it's like, dude, this is just road dog music right here. So like last week we were driving back home from Little Rock. Shane Boucher's bitch ass, not a road dog, lasted like an hour and a half. It had to tap out. Of course, I'm going to take the wheel because I do this shit for the love of the game, and I'm a real life like shoot road dog. So I had to spin my country playlist just full of road dog anthems, of course. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a little all over the place, but if it entails being about like just being on the road and shit, I'm in on it.
Okay. CR Media does ask another question. He says, are you guys close, like best friends, or is the relationship strictly business?
It's all a facade. I've never hung out with Bishop outside of wrestling in my entire fucking life. I hate him, actually.
We have nothing in common outside of just being a tag team. So
I don't even have his phone number. I'm not even supposed to be here. No, of course we're fucking best friends. Do we hang out all the time? You think we're that good at tag team wrestling and burying people together like that if we didn't hang out? Fuck out of here.
And then he also asks, is Shane's Louisiana accent real?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Especially when he's mad. That shit like thickens when he gets mad. He'll be like, shit, boy, I don't know what you talking about, boy. That's how he talks. It's crazy. It's shit insane.
That is very real.
It was once described to me as it sounds like Shane is chewing on a box of rocks whenever he talks.
That's nuts.
All right. And then this next question I want to get out before the chat starts spamming you guys about your personal lives. If you guys are at home, you're turning on the movie, one of the movies from the Jackass universe, what is your go-to stunt? Like, what's your favorite stunt that always pops you? Like, it hits the screen and you are belly laughing.
Dude, I've said this in the car to Bishop on multiple occasions. Out of all the glitz and glam of Jackass, all the fucking intricate ass things they would do, nothing pops me harder than when Bam would just run up and drop kick people in the head. That's my favorite shit in the world. When Bam would just drop kick dudes, like unsuspecting dudes, every time I pop, I lose it every single time. Yeah, that's mine.
That's
okay.
Ones, but off the top of my head, one that belly laughter, you said, bungee wedgie. I don't know why, but that's always been a great one. Something about it that they get a close up on like the bloody shitty underwear, and that shit makes me. I don't know why.
And now the opposite. What is one of the stunts that you despise, that you hate seeing it?
Dude.
I don't know, like a lot of this is just kind of like faded memories for me, but I know they did one. It was like I might be misspeaking, so correct me if I am, but they had like a pit of snakes or something with multiple like tons of snakes. Can't do that shit, dude. Easily like my number one. I cannot do that shit. Snakes, I'm out. Can't do this.
Yeah. No, that's a very real thing. They put them all in a bullpen. And they had like an anaconda in there or some shit like that.
Fuck that, dude. Can't do that. That shit like makes me like, I have to like change the channel.
They one time, I'm pretty sure, I think it was Chris Pontius, but they had horses and he drank the semen. That just, yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one where I cringe, like, Yeah.
I forgot about that one up until this very moment, and now it's gonna be stuck in my head for a while.
It's a bad, I'm sorry I reminded you, but yeah, you asked. Oy.
And then CR Media does ask another question, directed at Bishop actually. Ask him about the taunt he does to the camera, flinching, he says.
Do it right now. Show the people.
So that, yeah, it's just, the cameraman, he thought I was choking in front of Caleb Wines. I had to, forget
The water stinks.
Yeah, someone's on the phone.
Okay. And then I had suggested this in the past, and I want to know your opinion on it. Do you think that more promotions should implement a Campbell Myers camera? Because one thing I noticed when filming your matches, when you're not in the ring, you're still working hard cam. You're on the apron and you're looking at hard cam, and you're like, I think that you should have a separate camera strictly.
Brother, when am I not fucking working? I'm always working. I'm in the match, I'm working. I'm on the apron, I'm working. I'm on the microphone, I'm working. I'm in the entrance ramp, I'm fucking working, dude. That's what we're doing. We're working. So, yeah, you want to make a lot of money, you want to draw a lot of fans to watch your show, dude, make a premiere cam. Because Bishop's always working too. We're always working.
Workers.
So make a premiere cam. Yo, you remember the 619 cam on the entrance? We should come out with a premiere cam. That shit would be
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, dude, that might be it. We should do that. And then I'll just record you from the apron while you're beating the shit out of somebody. That would be nasty. Anyway, we'll save that one for later. Yeah, make a premiere cam.
You guys should do the Booker T TNA thing where you're just in the ring and you have a microphone and you're just fucking stomping.
Might have to implement that as well.
Well,
All
yeah.
three together, I'll record you doing that on the premiere cam.
I mean, we have actually done that before. Like, we've gone live in the middle of the ring before. I think
That's real life. I went live on Instagram in like my second match ever.
Yeah, that was back in like
that's awesome.
this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, fun fact, dude. Literally, Bishop and I tagged like in my third match ever as a wrestler. So
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys are for real, like 4-lifers. Like
yeah,
you've been doing this since the beginning.
Tag team wrestling. Ask about the promo. Campbell, did you see that?
From Scott.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even remember that promo that well.
I don't remember everything that was said, but I just remember you saying, "Here comes the ring crew." From the curtain.
All right. I don't know if you were going to ask this question or not, but Scott put it in the chat, and Bishop's got me laughing now. Scott asked them about the promo they cut on the O'Neal brothers at WrestleMax during their entrance. I'm pretty sure my mic was cutting out because it was one of those like spatial mics where like there's no cord. And so if you go to there's like spots around the ring you can't be in or the mic won't work. And I'm playing like blind battleship trying to find the spots where I can stand and cut this promo. Eventually I find I can really only stand in this one corner. And at this point, they've already assumed I'm not going to figure it out, I guess. And they like have the O'Neals coming to the ring, but I certainly had some shit I wanted to say. And so I'm like talking over their music. And I'm like, here comes the ring crew. And I was getting a little disrespectful. I will say a little disrespectful, but I earn the right to be disrespectful with how hard I work and how much we fucking win. So when you do those kinds of things, you get to say whatever you want. All this shit talk that people deem disrespectful or mean or too far or whatever it is they want to say, they just haven't earned the right to do that yet. We do. I earn this right every single day. When I'm fucking deadlifting houses and back squatting semi-trucks, dude, I earn the right to talk this shit. Whenever we win, and then we get booked more places, and we win, and we win, and we win, we keep earning this right to talk this much shit. So that's a little background on the promo wrestling. I forgot about that. That's great.
I didn't know about that. That's awesome.
It's in the archives. You can find it, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to look out for that. You mentioned that you guys are getting booked more, and you guys will be in Las Vegas in April. I gotta ask, what is your go-to game at the casino?
Oh, this one's gonna get Tupu fired up. I'm pretty sure he's.
I was gonna say that's very Tupu coded. Man, I don't frequent the boat, but I just pick a machine.
I'm a slots guy. I'm not like good at the actual gambling. I do have a specific slot I like to play. It's called Beer House. Fun fact, I only like playing that one because that's predominantly what we played when Mighty Micah and I learned how to gamble from Christian Rose in Spalding Hall in the back locker room at Spalding. I helped out with those shows and shit when I was like super green and or like not even having matches yet. And then Christian Rose was showing us the slots, and we always played Beer House. And so now that's the one I'm most confident and comfortable with. Like I know how it operates. And so I'm like, okay, I know what to look for on this one. We're playing Beer House. Like even when all the Iowa boys came and we went to a different casino out here in KC, just found Beer House and I spent all my money on that. So that's probably my go-to. It's just a slot game though.
There's a slot in Spalding Hall locker room?
Maybe not now. They renovated it, but there was in the old Spalding Hall. I don't know if there is now. I haven't really been there since they renovated it.
I'm trying to think, because are you talking about was the locker room like the bar area when this was happening?
So the locker room was actually behind the bar area. That bar area used to have actual patrons in it, and then there was this little gap room between the back room and the bar, and they were in there. There was free slots.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then Bishop, you same just slots.
Man. I just whatever catches my eye. I've played Beer House before. It's all the same shit to me, man. But yeah, whatever catches my eye. But normally I try to stay away from casinos. So
I take it when you guys go to Vegas, you're there strictly business. Go there, win matches, make money.
I mean, primarily, but I mean, I'd be open to gambling there just because I'll be in Vegas. It'll only be the second time I've been. So yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. We might find a beer house there.
We are traveling with Solomon Tupu for that week though, so there's zero chance we avoid a casino completely. He likes to frequent the boat, so if we are with Tupu, we will most certainly be finding a casino or 50. But I'm kind of on the same boat as Bishop. No pun intended. I'm on the same boat as Bishop. But I don't like to go gamble my money away. I don't make enough money to gamble it away like that.
Same.
That's fair. Before I hit the final question, Papa Kenway does have a comment, and it's just Premier things. He did spell Premier wrong, but that might be on account of autocorrect. So
yeah,
don't.
Dude, PK can spell Premier however he wants.
PK.
Scott Stanley, he said they're going to lose all of their money and get stuck there. Hopefully.
Wrong.
This dude Scott Stanley is saying all this shit in the chat now, and then he's gonna get to Vegas and be like, "What's the move, boys?" Fuck off.
Dog, not what's the move.
Yo, what's the move tonight, boys?
Dog.
All right. So this final question, I ask every guest this, and it is, if you had any piece of advice, each of you individually, if you had any piece of advice for the audience, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be related to pro wrestling, just any advice ever.
Grab the tag rope and figure it the fuck out. you could subtract that first part because that makes it very pro wrestling centric. But I said that to kind of be funny, but now I'm like, oh no, that's actually like really fucking good advice. That's kind of been my biggest thing the last few years is like, especially I'm assuming how old are you, Squints? You're like our age? Are you the same age?
I don't know how. I'm 25, about to be 26.
Okay, yeah,
so
I'm 26.
I think so.
So we're all kind of like in our mid 20s, or like figuring out how to do shit in the real world. Dude, you just gotta figure it out. There's so many people that just think they can't, like, that someone's just gonna fucking hold their hand through everything, and it's like, I can't believe I'm getting all serious on here now. I feel like I'm getting all deep and shit. That sucks. But like, no, I mean, like, you really do. Just figure it the fuck out. Like, you got to problem solve. You have to be able to like look at problems and be like, there's some fix here, and understanding that there's not just like one fix to every problem or whatever. It's like just do what you got to do to fucking solve the problem and keep shit moving. But figure it the fuck out. At the end of the day, figure it the fuck out. I'm a homeowner now, so I'm constantly having to figure it the fuck out, dude. Like, my fence fell down. I've never replaced a fence in my fucking life. I had to replace a fence. I had to figure it the fuck out. Something goes wrong, and I say that like I have no help. I have help, but it's like still, at the end of the day, you're faced with problems or issues or things that pop up. My best advice now, as somebody who is actively trying to figure it out for himself, is to just figure it out. You just figure it out.
That was the most Gary V speech I've been given in a while.
All right, and I take all this back. Gary Vee sucks.
That was a compliment. That was a compliment.
Gary Vee's annoying, dude. He can
be annoying, yeah.
Dude, actually, I am on that alpha grind set right now, so I am a big Gary Vee guy, actually. I take it back. I forgot my public-facing persona is that of the alpha grind set, so shout out Gary Vee.
Man.
All right.
That was a lot. That was a lot, dude. Good for you. I
just want to hit the tagline about the tag ropes, and then it took me down a windy road. I wasn't ready.
That was all good shit, man. Yeah, figure it out. For me, just never stop growing, never stop learning. Don't get to a point where you think you have it all figured out. I think that is one of the most foolish things we can do as humans. Because you can learn something every day through people you meet, through experiences. So, yeah.
All right. And then I know I said that was the final question, but there's one that completely slipped my mind. Do you guys think that you could beat Big Boom AJ and Big Justice in a professional wrestling match?
Dude, 5 seconds for that easily. We fucking dropped them out. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay. I didn't know if you guys seen the recent accomplishments in AEW, so I wasn't sure if maybe you kind of changed your answer on that, but still, yeah, 5 seconds.
Easy, dude. 6 at most.
We'd make it.
Is that including the 3 count, or is that?
Yeah,
like
including the 3 count for the pin. Yeah, so they might get like. It depends if we let them meet us in the middle and we hit them with some, or if we just bull rush the corner, big fucking boot in the corner, pull them out, hit some. It just depends. So,
they wouldn't stand a chance against the Premier. Let's be real.
Okay.
So that's my actual advice. Don't find yourself across the ring from the Premier. That's the best advice I could ever give you in life ever.
Find the tag rope, figure it out, and don't find yourself across the ring from the Premier.
That's exactly it, pal.
Words to
all right. And then if you just want to let the people know where they can find you on social medias, merch, upcoming shows, all of that before we wrap this up.
Merch is all on hand. We need to be better about putting up an online store, making that available. At one point we did, but merch on hand. All my handles are Pro SK Bishop M. That is X, Instagram, Threads, all that good stuff. And coming up, we will be in Vegas for Mania weekend. And coming up, we're going to be popping up here and there. So just keep your eyes out. We're getting around.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. Like he said, right now merch is all on hand, but if you shoot us a DM and we have your size and you can do Venmo or PayPal or Cash App or whatever, we can work something out. So we're pretty flexible in that range, but he's right. We're going to we have a couple things kind of brewing with merch. which I hate when people say that, to like stay tuned for what's next, and they have like literally nothing cooking in the kitchen. But like we genuinely do have like stuff in the works as far as new merch and like he said, potentially an online kind of storefront as well. But again, if there's something that we have, you just haven't been to a show or whatever, and you want to shoot us a DM, you can do that. I am Campbell Myers _ on Twitter, and I am Campbell _ Myers, I believe, on Instagram. Otherwise, like he said, just kind of keep your eyes open. We are popping up places. We have some fun stuff lined up this spring, and hopefully new merch by the summertime. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Anything else before we wrap this up?
Fuck the new guys, straight up. Fuck the new guys, specifically Scott Stanley. Obviously, that's like my number one thing to say. So yeah, fuck the new guys.
Drink water and fuck Logan Knight, dude.
Oh yeah, and Logan Knight, dude. All my homies fucking hate Logan Knight.
Yep.
All right, we have two last comments. After these last two, everyone just please don't comment again because we need to wrap this up. Jason Klein, he says 150 watching live. It's actually 151 now. Better tell these boys thanks for the house, Squints. Thanks for the house.
Premier asses and seats.
Thanks.
You've already made a better step than CR Media, aka Jabroni Jobber ass fucking Booker Mark for Fountain City. He sees the draw in front of his face and has yet to thank us for it. But whatever. You've at least surpassed him in saying thank you. So go ahead.
And then Scott Stanley does say never forget a fan bought their merch and then buried them. Scott, before they say it, I'm going to say it. They still bought merch.
Exactly.
Guess what, Scott? Guess what, Scott? You give me $25, you can say whatever the fuck you want on Twitter because that $25 still spends the same.
Mm-hmm.
You guys pander to the fucking Twitter crowd, and that's your problem. I'm in this business for fucking business. This is a money-making endeavor for the Premier. Scott, you don't know about that. You don't know a fucking thing about that, Scott Stanley. So shut the fuck up! When we're talking business and the big dogs, the main eventers are sitting at the table talking about money, you just go back to the fucking kids' table with the fucking pre-show jerk-offs, all right? So we're talking big dog business over here. But you keep fucking talking to your Twitter fans, you see how many bills you can pay with that fucking Twitter clout, pal. We'll be spending real life dollars over here. All right.
I can't on to that.
Can I wrap this? Okay. All right. All right. Thanks for being on, guys. Thanks for everyone that watched all 154. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, leave a thumbs up, a thumbs down, 1 star, 5 stars. I don't care. That's going to be it. Peace.